Guys, you are ready today to get your first real estate wholesaling deal. You're in the challenge that's going to change your life together. I don't know how. You aren't jacked up today. We're getting into it. We're getting the thick of it. Meat and potatoes. Let's break it down. So today we're going to figure out exactly if you should do virtual or local wholesaling. We're ready to go. Obviously, we're ready to go for everything. So without further ado, let's break it down, guys. Remember, smash the like button, subscribe. We're in day 2. So let's break everything down. So let's recap the real estate wholesaling process, and let me show you the difference between regular wholesaling and virtual wholesaling. We've kind of brought it together a little bit yesterday about what virtual wholesaling is. I know there's a lot of people in like Connecticut, East Coast. I got some Houston people. You might be confused, like Houston's a big market. Should I do virtual wholesaling or physical? Guys, let's start breaking things down. I'm pretty excited, So let's break down the quick real estate wholesaling process. This process is marketing, locking up a deal, finding a buyer, walk through closing day. Like we kind of went over this yesterday, right? We find a distressed property with our marketing. We lock up the deal. We basically have a call with the seller, we sign the agreement. We find a buyer. We find basically that end buyer, rich landlord, house flipper, to buy that agreement for us for a profit. And then we walk through the house. We walk the buyer through the house to see and basically get it assigned and sell that piece of paper, right? Closing day today, we're going to close that deal with the title company and get the check mailed to wired and repeated. So that's basically that process. And remember, guys, my name is Zach Ginn. I run a 7-figure wholesaling operation with my dad, Rick Ginn. And together we have Flip with Rick here and all the other awesome channels in our network here where we help you learn real estate wholesaling absolutely for free. Rick Ginn is not on today. Rick Ginn is not, me and Rick aren't doing a live video together every single time. We usually go together once a week for it. We got awesome recorded videos and everything like this for the challenge. So the next live video will not be tomorrow. The next live video will be on Sunday. So we're going to have a recorded video on the processes of everything, and we'll break it down. I'll reveal what tomorrow's video is. We won't do it live, but we'll reveal it'll be a recorded video. It's going to be a hoot. It's going to be very, very valuable, and it's definitely something you are going to want to know. So again, not everyone's going to be a 2-hour power live like we're doing today. Obviously, you won't have enough time. So we're going to do some quick, awesome 15, 20-minute pieces of content that are recorded, really nice quality for you out here. So Rick will be on Sunday breaking down contracts, and it's going to be the ultimate contract video. I'm going to reveal that one just so you understand. That's definitely one you should go live on. I know it's Sunday. I know it's a weird time, but with the curriculum that we set forward for you in the challenge, Sunday is the best and perfect time to break down contracts. So we're just going to go for as long as we can, breaking down exactly assignment of contracts, laws, all that stuff for contracts, so you have a complete understanding of it from a beginner's perspective. So that's going to be really cool. But that is the wholesaling real estate process right here from start to finish. Now, let's talk about the virtual wholesaling process. There's definitely a difference between them. Nothing crazy. I'm just like not an insane difference, but it's definitely something you should know. So what is the virtual wholesaling process? And it's very similar process I just stated, except this one is a tad different. Remember, this is stuff we kind of break down at freewholesaling.com. But let's sort of break down the virtual wholesaling process. Oops, I don't want to show you my disclosure yet. This is the virtual wholesaling process. Number one, we find a distressed property with our marketing. Pretty much the same thing, right? This is where it's a little different, right? We're wholesaling basically we're wholesaling this process right here on our computer. So what does this process sort of look like, right? We basically call with the seller and we sign the agreement to buy the property, basically e-signing it. And then we get somebody, because obviously this is virtual, so we actually can't go out here and meet them there, because let's say I live in Florida, I have a deal in Ohio. Obviously I'm not going to go a flight out there, just take pictures or get them to sign it. We're going to e-sign it, do an electronic signature. I'll show you how to do that too. Remember, we're going to break down virtual wholesaling, all this stuff today. But we're not breaking down virtual wholesaling like the entire thing today. That is for a separate video, which will be in the challenge. Don't even worry about that if you're going to do virtual. We just got to figure out if you're doing virtual or local wholesaling today. So I'm breaking down the virtual wholesaling process. We're going to e-sign it, get someone to take the pics of it for us. We're going to find that end buyer, rich landlord, house flipper to buy that agreement. Are going to sign the contract for a profit. We've already gone over this process. And then day 32 to 40, we're going to walk the buyer through the house to see it and get the assignment signed. We're selling the piece of paper with a runner. Okay, this can be our boots on the ground type person. They are going to walk the property through. That's for the virtual wholesaling process too. Then we're going to close with a title company. We have a whole day filled with title companies, how to find the questions, all the scripts and everything for title companies. Don't even worry about it, guys. Don't feel stressed over it. Remember, this 30-day wholesaling challenge, I've basically been working on this challenge for like 3 months. So we got everything perfectly done for you. So Don't even worry. But we're going to get that check mailed or wired to us because it's a virtual deal. So just understand this process is one, we meet sellers and we actually walk through ourselves. And then virtual, we're basically having somebody do that process for us. We can be in a beach in Fiji. We basically anywhere in the world, right? So let me tell you a quick disclosure. My lawyer makes me do these. So here's my quick disclosure when I start talking about real estate wholesaling. I got cute dog pics to distract you. And I gotta make the lawyer happy. So I'm not a lawyer, realtor with the nice R because they like the restricted logo on it. I don't know, it makes them feel good about themselves. I'm not a lawyer, realtor, real estate agent, none of that stuff. I'm not a financial advisor, CPA. Please seek legal and professional counsel before you do anything. Before you tie your shoes, talk to a lawyer. Before you breathe air, talk to a lawyer. That's my disclosure. Before you do anything, I would prefer you talk to a lawyer. Okay, whatever. Like that's my disclosure. I have to say this. FYI, whatever regulations, laws, blah, 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 blah. I did the math. We can't afford the These are nice pictures. I've been watching Obi-Wan lately, so I kind of got the the dog one. I thought that was funny. Okay, so let's talk about local wholesaling for a second, okay? Local wholesaling, in-person wholesaling. Let's sort of have a quick conversation about this, okay? So local wholesaling. So this type of wholesaling is in person, right? We're in person here. We meet the seller in person, right? We meet face to face. Rick likes to say belly to belly. I don't know why he just likes saying that. So that's why I just say face to face, but everyone's got their thing, right? We meet the seller in person. The cool part about local wholesaling, right, guys, is there's a lower cost to it when you're doing in person your own local markets. There's actually more marketing avenues, I would say. And there's the only con, like I would say with local wholesaling is there is a limit potential of scaling. I'm going to kind of break this down a little more with it, but there is cons to both of these. There's good, bad, the ugly for every single one here. But that is local wholesaling. Now, let's break down the worst. I like breaking down the worst and then going the best, right? So what is the bad when it comes to local wholesaling? First of all, local wholesaling, it can be scarier as a beginner. You're actually meeting sellers face to face. This is like, it's real stuff. You're actually meeting people. You're going out there. Like you're just going out there, very, very it's very scary for someone starting out. I was 17 years old starting out meeting sellers. It's never fun, right? I get it, but I think that's a con for people. But again, you got to remember, this is a big pro for a lot of people too, because it's a huge growing opportunity. And I don't think a lot of people look at it like that it's a huge, huge growing opportunity as a person, as a salesperson, as a wholesaler. Meeting a person is definitely a huge opportunity. Like I've said before, there's a limit in scaling. For example, you only wholesale in Houston. Probably the most you make wholesaling in Houston, if you get a huge percentage of the deals, would be like, now I'm just saying this nicely, but like $10-15 million a year. Now I know I was like, oh, that I won't worry about. I get it. But when you start scaling up your business, like if you're in a smaller market, your limit might be 5 million, 3 million a year, right? And you can't really scale up any more from there. And it's not easy to get there, but like you can easily get within like 3-4 years. And eventually your scaling's like you're kind of doing all the deals being done in your market, right? That is a scaling issue. And, I'm in a market where it's 300,000 houses. So it's like, it's a good amount. I can make millions and millions of dollars, but I have to scale it more. So I have to do a lot of virtual deals. I'm starting to do more virtual deals than physical deals because the amount of scaling I've been doing on the virtual is like working more and more and more and more. You guys are sending me awesome real estate deals. So, hey, making more money, right? And that is a huge issue. And in my opinion, guys, I drink a lot of water by talking. I don't know how people speak for 4 or 5 hours without drinking water. I got to drink water. So sorry, FYI for that. But the biggest con I would say with local wholesaling is that you could be stuck in a bad market. And I think that's the biggest issue. You're in a not so good market. Like I know people call me from like San Jose, and I'm like, that's not a good local. Like it's not a good local market, and I don't prefer that one. And you're kind of stuck in that market, right? For local wholesaling, that's the thing that kind of sucks, right? You're stuck in paradise, right? That is a big issue, So let's talk about the pros. There's a lot of pros for local wholesaling that I absolutely love. So what are my favorite pros, right? The good, right? First of all, in local wholesaling, it is easier and faster to get your first deal in local wholesaling. every single day of the week. It is fast. Just go in your car, drive for dollars, get a deal, right? Local wholesaling has a lower cost initially and kind of when you're scaling too. Uh, I mean, you can wholesale for free for virtual, you can wholesale for free for local wholesaling, but really, they're free. And that's why I really like them both. Local wholesaling, you get way bigger deals. I have found easily. Um, I mean, our average local deal is like 50K, where virtual is like 30. And I'm getting some 10K deals right locally and 10K deals virtually, but like we have way bigger margins on our local deals. And when you do a physical appointment, you're going to make more money. Cool part here too is you have access to better hard government lists. When like these are harder to get lists, but they're like better quality. And in local wholesaling, like you can go in person, talk to managers, speak with a city attorney, and get these really hard lists that not a lot of people can get. So that is definitely one of the best things about local wholesaling. There's more marketing avenues. Like I said, you can't really drive for dollars virtually unless you find somebody for it. So especially starting out, you get more marketing avenues. You do door knocking, reverse trying for dollars with the sticky notes on there. It's definitely way better, and also it is easier to find buyers and control them on the walkthroughs, especially in local wholesaling because you're controlling the walkthroughs. So that is a big pro in my opinion. Now, your ability to JV with virtual wholesalers is a big pro in local wholesaling and kind of vice versa for virtual, but you can meet a lot of virtual wholesalers who really can't find cash buyers and only you're doing cash buyers for your local deals. A lot of big profit opportunities, I don't make nearly as much money wholesaling like JVing people in my market. So virtual wholesalers going wholesaling in Port St. Lucie and they send me deals. Now I make a lot of money from that, but not as much as me actually JVing virtually with you guys. So that is one thing too. And guys, you got any deals? I'll just DM me. We're working on some systems. We kind of got blown out of the water with how many deals we got sent. So we're still working our teams, our dispo people out for that one. So we're kind of hand picking better deals you guys send to us. We're still working on some. So Michael sent me a Port St. Lucie deal today. So that's pretty cool. So we're working on that one. Yeah, we're getting some cool deals sent to us, and also you can DM us some deals for JVing too. But we're working our systems for it. Like nothing too crazy right now. I mean, we're really capping 10, 15 deals a month till we kind of get the systems in place. So if you qualify for a deal, just JV with us, but you can do that too. So let's talk about virtual wholesaling, right? So virtual wholesaling real estate, it's basically the same process as regular or local, aka physical in-person wholesaling. Just remember, guys, you're doing this from your computer with an internet connection. This is the best case scenario. This is the best thing you could be doing for international people, right? Like we got our wholesalers from Asia, we got our wholesalers from Africa, the Caribbean. I remember some people telling me they're from Bahamas watching. We're really worldwide, really. It's really cool. And so I really like that. We've had some, I can't say the word on here, but I've actually had a surprisingly high amount of people messaging me from, let's say, countries that are not the most favored right now, saying YouTube's cut out my country due to X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, I don't know how to help. Like almost every, so many countries, almost every country in Europe, people are watching us on the challenge. It's insane the amount of people doing it. But for the international audience watching, shout out to you guys. Also, guys, no one cares about your accent in wholesaling. You're going to do plenty of deals if you have accents. Like nobody cares, FYI. But people want to if you want to scale, right? If you're international, people living in temporary living situations. We're talking to somebody from living in Alaska, active duty. They're going back to the lower 48 states in about like 6 months. Some more active duty people moving in like a year or two, right? People that lived like the RV life, right? People who are going to move somewhere else in like 6 months. If you're like in a temporary living situation, right? You can probably do it virtual wholesaling is probably gonna be the best thing for you. Now, if you're in a saturated market, right? I highly recommend virtual wholesaling. We're going to break down what I call the danger zone. Markets you probably should just be virtual. Like I'll break down what the danger zone is. And I'll break down the green zone. Things are like a green light, go after this. Like that's a great local market where we're going to break that all down too. Guys, I have my top 25 virtual wholesaling markets too in freewholesaling.com if you want to go check those out. Let's go over the cons. Like what's the what are the worst? Like what's the bad parts about virtual wholesaling? Right. Let's go over the bad. Right. Number one, it costs more money. Just FYI for everyone out here, virtual wholesaling is going to cost you more money starting out, and you can do it technically for free, right? But for most people, it's going to cost some money for it, right? Again, you might have to pay for wholesaling, like $5-10 a month, but like the information should be free, and you can still do wholesaling for free virtually, but it's never the funnest thing to do. You get less spreads, less margins, less profit per deal in virtual wholesaling just because you can't get that in-person connection, but you're able to do more deals. So I think that's the difference. You can do more deals, but you make less per deal, sort of like the Walmart, not a bad way to make money, right? I make more money virtually wholesaling because I do a lot more deals, but they're less spreads, but the spreads aren't that thin where it still makes a lot of sense, right? Also have boots on the ground, have a boots on the ground team. That's kind of hard to do, but that's definitely something you should be doing for virtual wholesaling. Virtual wholesaling costs money, especially on every walkthrough you do. It's going to cost some money. There's going to be more, can go wrong situations. That's why I'm sort of quoting it here, but there's a lot more that could go wrong in a virtual wholesaling deal because you're not in person. It's harder to follow up, you can't like go in person to follow up with the seller. A lot more could go wrong in a virtual wholesaling deal than in an in-person deal. Not saying that everyone goes wrong, right? But like the higher chance. And I don't want to scare anyone, but like it's kind of true, but it's definitely a name of the game. You lock up deals for way too high, more likely on a virtual than in an in-person. It's harder to comp when you're in a new market. So that's sort of the dealio on that one, right? Let's see here. All right, let's break this down here. Let's break down the good. Okay, so what is the good for virtual wholesaling, right? Let's. I don't want to get the Debbie Downer stuff, but let's break down the good here, right? It can be done anywhere with an internet connection. That's pretty cool, right? Actually, it's actually you can be scalable with virtual Y physical wholesaling, which is what I do. So technically, I'm 100% virtual in my wholesaling. And why? I do local wholesaling, but I don't meet the seller, right? I have people going out for me. I don't pull cash buyers. I have a whole team around. Like I did my whole scaling system before this 30-day event. And I work like 5 hours a week in my wholesaling business. Now I'm starting to do some more JV deals. So it's kind of like getting more and more. We're doing some more multifamily stuff. So working a little more just because I want to, not because I have to. And I like doing big $100,000 plus margin deals. That's just me. I can actually scale my physical wholesaling with virtual, kind of higher level, but that's a big pro. You can scale up a JV operation really big. $100,000 plus months with JVing like we're doing. Pretty fun. You have access to cheaper and easier markets in virtual wholesaling. I think that's one really cool part. My average ARV is pushing 300, 350. It might be going down a little more, but I can go to a market where the average ARV is 100K. And it's cheaper and easier market to do deals. And obviously, you can do more deals in virtual wholesaling. That is the big good part of it, right? So just FYI there. So let me break down what I do. Like, what does Zach do, right? So again, I'm pretty much 100% virtual, right? I got a scale team in my wholesaling operations, which pretty fun, right? I make most of my profits from virtual wholesaling right now, just the scalability of it. I just been slowly scaling month over month for 3 years now, right? And now you start getting to that point. I still prefer local deals, right? I mean, I make more money. It's a lot less work. I can record a content video of me making 80, 90K. It's hard to do that on a virtual deal. I prefer local deals still. I'm a victim to my own market, more or less, though. That is my main problem. Me and Rick have found out where we can make millions of dollars every year in our local market, but like I won't be able to make $1 million a month in my local market. That is one issue I have. It's very hard to get more than 200 or 300K deals in a month, especially in our market. And it's just harder to scale up. Like we have a massive market share in our local market. And it's just easier if I can just scale more people up and do it virtually, right? So I'm a victim of my own market. I only have like 200,000 to 300,000 actual wholesalable houses in my market. And going down south is a little harder for me. Up north is too far. So I am a victim of my own market per se. And it's just easier going after other deals, right? And that's like, you're fishing in a lake and you're constantly getting, 10, 15 fish every single day. It's like, how do we get 50 fish? Like, well, I mean, the same amount of fish are going to be in there, right? But what if I can hire a whole fishing team and go fishing in 50 lakes, right? It's just a lot easier, They might not be bigger fish, but like if you get like 5 littler fish, it's equal to like 1 big fish, and you do 10 of those, right? That's honestly what I'd say, you know. But that's honestly what I'd say. It's just a whole different beast at that point. Now, let me break down what I recommend for wholesaling real estate. Hopefully, this helps you out. But if your average median home price is under $500,000, like I said, everyone do their homework last night. If your average median price, which you can search on Zillow, median home price, blank, 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 is under 500K, and if you have a population, so around like a 1 hour drive around you, look at the county population, that population is over 100,000, you're under 500K median home price, you most likely right now beginning should stay local. That's what I recommend. No one on YouTube talks about this. I don't know why. They just don't. A little messed up. I don't know why they don't, but that is the honest truth. You should probably stay local for now. If you can find other successful wholesalers in your market, I would probably stay local too. If you find people constantly doing 2-3 deals a month, I would prefer doing that market, right? And if you're in the danger zone, I would say you should go virtual for your real estate wholesaling deals, right? I would probably go virtual if I'm in the danger zone. And what's the danger zone? And Kenny Loggins said it best. I went to the danger zone, right? I'm not going to be singing it. I'm not going to get copyrighted from YouTube, but if you're in the danger zone, you'll know it. So let's talk about the danger zone. These are zones you should not be wholesaling in person. Now, there's people that wholesale in these markets in person, but probably best to go virtual on these. And I'll give you some cheaper suburb options. So if you're in any of these markets, I would prefer you go to cheaper suburbs. Most likely, if you have a wholesaler guru, in this market, they most likely go after the suburbs. So you got New York City is a danger zone, Miami, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Phoenix, Austin, Boston, San Diego, Seattle, Silicon Valley area. Like, for example, there's plenty of people wholesaling in Phoenix, but like they don't wholesale just in Phoenix. They'll do Mesa, they'll do Yuma, Apache Junction, Gilbert. Like they'll do some like cheaper suburbs. Like they're not just doing Phoenix, right? Same like Austin, Austin's probably not good, but like Killeen, Texas, way better market, right? San Diego, go north, right? A cheaper suburb. San Francisco, Oakland's a better one. If you're in Miami, I prefer Palm Beach County. Broward's a little tougher. Like there's just do cheaper suburb options. I would say that's going to be better. I don't want to be in the danger zone. I really don't think you should be in the danger zone. But these are not good markets, and I can break down all day why they're not good markets. Just if you wholesale there, you're not getting the best results. I would just prefer not to be in the danger zone. Now, if you're like up in the air, like what do I actually do? Which one should I choose? Let me break down the 50-50 approach. And the 50-50 approach, basically, if you're on the fence, just try it, right? This basically means you spend 50% of your wholesaling marketing efforts time in a local market, right? And then spend 50% of your time in a virtual market for 1 to 2 months and really see your results. Where are you getting qualified leads, right? Where are you getting the really good deals? Where are you getting your deals? Like everything like that. And then you'll pretty much find out very quick, if virtual is best or local is best, right? If you're finding out you're getting like 5 qualified, deals, appointments, leads on virtual and you're getting 0 for local and you're doing good strategies, I would be really considering looking into virtual, right? And the 50-50 approach is the best one because no one knows if your market's going to work. Just do it, right? So that's honestly what I do. And that's my opinion on it, like which one you should probably be doing in wholesaling real estate. Everyone's a little different, right? But that's honestly what I found. Just let me know which one you prefer, which one you guys are liking. But honestly, that's what I found. So if you got any questions, let me know. Let's answer some questions, see what we got on this. But yeah, that is day 2. That is how to see if you're local or physical. Want to see what are some of the green zones, right? Let me pull up a map and just name off when I'm looking at the map some really good green zones, right? So let's do USA map, right? I'm going to show you some green zones. These are markers you should be going after. So let's pull up the map here. Got the USA, right? Okay. So looking at a map here, I'm going to be honest with you. Let's pull it up, right? Oops. Get out of here. All right. Where are we at? All right. That's good. So let me share my screen. I'm going to show you. All right. So looking at a map of the US right here, let me show you some green zones, right? So I would say right now, let me look here. So let me just think of some green zones here. So let's do some states and tell you which one the best one. So in Florida, I would prefer Orlando, Pensacola, the Panhandle region. Jacksonville's okay. And then you do some like Ocala. Georgia, in between Atlanta and Athens is going to be the best one. Macon's a good market there. We're talking South Carolina. Greenville's really good. I've seen some. Columbia's okay. North Carolina's got a lot of really good ones. My favorite's Fayetteville. Asheville's good in North Carolina. Richmond, Virginia is a really good one. Newport News is really good too. Prince George's County is okay in Maryland, right? You get in PA, Reading, Pennsylvania is like one of my favorite ones out there. Hudson Valley, Rochester, Buffalo is pretty good. And then some Northeast, it's okay. Pretty much the whole state of Ohio is pretty good. Indiana, I like. Michigan, I like. I really like Detroit, Wayne County. It's a little bigger, more saturated, but still a good one. Louisville, Kentucky is really good. I'm trying to think. Tennessee. Memphis is okay. Middle of Tennessee is decent. And then like Chattanooga and like Northeast Tennessee is good. Birmingham's good for Alabama. Thinking here, Mississippi. Like Hattiesburg, Mississippi, I would say. That's a green zone, I would say. Just trying to think here. Louisiana, Lafayette's okay. Shreveport. I know a lot of people doing well in Arkansas. Little Rock area, but like all over the board there. Missouri, Kansas City's pretty good, a little saturated. Springfield's really good in Missouri. St. Louis, Illinois, you only do wholesale one deal there unless you're licensed, but the whole state's actually pretty decent. Wisconsin, Milwaukee's probably my favorite market out there. Minnesota, not really heard much from there. I know some people doing deals in Minnesota, so okay. Iowa, whole Davenport, Iowa region's pretty good, and like kind of all of Iowa is decent. Texas, a lot of really good markets. San Antonio's a decent one. Houston's a good one. Dallas is okay. You got to drive for dollars in Dallas. Not too bad. Killian's okay. Cheaper, like suburban areas, pretty good. I've heard about El Paso. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but some people swear by El Paso. So, okay, right. What else here? Let's think here. I know Shree did his first deal in New Mexico. He's the only guy I know out in New Mexico. He's 16. He did a deal in New Mexico. Okay. Oklahoma City's really good. Don't worry about the laws there. You should be fine. Just don't publicly market the sale of the property. Not much out of Kansas. I know people wholesale in Wichita there. So, okay. Got some guys sharing checks. Jamar, he was actually doing Omaha. He made like 100 plus K. He might be on the podcast soon. So Nebraska's okay. Dakota's not much wholesaling. No out of there. Not much Montana. Not much Wyoming. Some places in Idaho are decent. Colorado's okay. Nothing too crazy out of Colorado, but where they do the training, Colorado Springs is okay. I heard Pueblo. Arizona, like Yuma, Tucson-ish, that's okay. Some of the more suburban, bigger areas, I would say Utah, Salt Lake City is probably very saturated, but still a really good one. Nevada, it's okay. I know Vegas is pretty saturated, but it's still a decent market. California really got Fresno. That's the best one out there. There's some other good ones out there. Okay. And then Aberdeen, Washington, I know is pretty good. Alaska, Hawaii are kind of crapshoots to me. That's kind of like my green zones in the States. I really like. There's other ones out there, but like those are the ones that I'm preferring right now.